What's going on, guys? It's Brandon or Tesla Flex, and today I'm here with my Model 3 Performance and my Model Y Performance, and I'll be showing you the differences between the Model 3 and the Model Y. Also, if you're purchasing a Tesla, don't forget to use my referral link in the description below to save $250 and get 3 months of full self-driving on your new Tesla. So what are the differences? Obviously, the first thing you notice is that the Model Y is a lot larger. It looks like a Model 3 got stung by a bee, but overall, the Model Y actually has a lot more utility than the Model 3 for a few reasons. So one advantage the Model Y has over the Model 3 is that when you get inside of it, you basically just sit inside of the car, and that's it. But then the Model 3 is a different story. I mean, it opens the same, but then you get inside and you're going down into a bucket seat almost, and you're a lot lower to the ground. The next thing the Model Y offers over the Model 3 is way more leg room for the passengers in the back. I can easily just kind of climb in here. This is with both seats kind of at regular distances from the front of the car, and you can see I fit perfectly in here. Even if you're stuck in the middle seat, it's still pretty good. You still got a lot of room to move. And even if the driver's seat has a seat all the way back, I can still fit just fine. Now the Model 3, again, a different story. It's a lot tighter. You can still kind of fit in here, but you can definitely see this is my regular position on my seat when I drive. You can see if I was a passenger in my own car, it would probably be an issue. It's very tight back here, and even if I'm in the middle seat, I mean, I feel like the middle seat, you'd be kind of squeezing your legs together like this to kind of fit. It's a lot lower to the ground and a lot less space for you and your passengers. And the next thing is that the Model Y has a different style of trunk. It's a hatchback style, so the back piece of glass is all one piece and it opens up fully. And then you have this cargo cover that moves back and forth. But if this isn't here and you put the seats down, you have unobstructed space all in the car. The Model 3, however, is a little bit different. So when you open the Model 3 trunk, it is only a trunk lid. It's not anything. The glass is all part of the whole back of the car. And you can see there's a shelf right here, so you can't really fit much in here. And you kind of have to have stuff that's shorter than this. So it's all right. It's good for a sedan, but compared to the Model Y, which is slightly bigger, you want to get the Model Y. And then obviously, Tesla tries to make the Model 3 as cheap as possible. So when you close it, it makes this noise. It's a lot more. It's the old Model S and Model X beepers that I use for trunks and Falcon Wing doors, compared to the Model Y, which they've been using this sensor or this sound making thing, I don't know, speaker, for, I mean, since I got my Model Y, it's a lot nicer. It's actually from inside the car, so you might not be able to hear it. It's a little boop. It's a lot nicer to hear. And that's how all the Model S refreshes and Model X refreshes are as well. Next, we have the front. I'm starting with the Model 3 because I want you to see how much smaller it really is. So I have a few Hot Wheels and stuff in here, but it's not very deep. But then you get to the Model Y, and obviously the Model Y is a taller car. You have a lot more space in here. You can see it's probably about twice as deep, honestly, and it feels a little bit longer. Maybe not, but I mean, you can definitely fit a lot more in the Model Y front than the Model 3 front. So besides the terrible wrap top I did, you can see the bumpers. The Model 3 has kind of this drop down area right below that fog lamp, and it doesn't kind of carry through. But then on the Model Y, it's very seamless. It goes all the way here and it follows the body line. So the Model Y is actually easier to wrap because of that reason. And even right here, you can see on the Model 3, these are side skirts all along the bottom of the car that connect right to the quarter panel. So this also makes it a lot harder to wrap, because if you want to do it right, you do it all in one piece. And obviously that's very complicated. I couldn't even do it. There's a little seam right here. But on the Model Y, because it's a SUV, like a lot of other SUVs, it doesn't have the side skirts that are painted like the car. These are just plastic side skirts right here. And then the quarter panel, obviously, because the side skirts don't go up, it's just this small area, which makes it a lot easier to wrap. And then of course the rear bumper, it doesn't go down as far. Same thing I said, SUV, they have the plastic on the bottom part, and on the Model 3, you can see that the bumper goes all the way down. And yeah, this is where I struggled a lot because I didn't have enough material, but the bumpers are very different on each. The next difference we have is with the roof. The Model Y has a full glass roof. It is from the top of the windshield all the way back to the trunk area. It's really nice, and it just makes it feel a lot nicer. And there are sunshades that can fit it, so it's really nice if you kind of need that extra heat rejection in the summer. Then you go to the Model 3, and it's a little bit worse. I mean, it's not terrible. It still has a glass roof, but it's two pieces instead of one. It goes from the windshield to the middle part, and then it goes from the middle part to the back. And another difference we have is the wheel size. So the performances, the Model Y Performance has 21-inch Uber Turbine wheels, And the Model 3 Performance, I don't have my stock wheels on right now, but they are 20-inch Uber turbines. So I'm actually using the same tires that came with the car for my Martian wheels. So these are gonna be a little bit smaller. It might be a little bit of a smoother ride, but also the cabin noise is a lot different because the Model 3 is lower to the ground, you get more cabin noise. The Model Y actually does a really good job of isolating that. This video is sponsored by Magback. I'm sure you've seen a lot of Teslas on the road with curb rash, and that's because Tesla uses lower profile tires. So Magback has created the rim case to solve this issue. The rim case is designed to protect the edge of the wheel from any potential damage if you accidentally hit a curb. Or if you already have curb rash on the edge of your wheel, you can buy these to cover up the existing damage. The rim case is straightforward to install, and if you do accidentally curb your rim, don't worry, you can buy a replacement set for just one wheel and not the entire car. Don't forget to use code TESLAFLEX to save 15% on your rim case. And now on the inside, we have pretty much the exact same layout besides my mods that I've done from hand show and stuff, but same trim, same steering wheel, same screen, same console, same buttons, but not the same door panels, same mirror, same visors. Like, they share at least 70% of the same parts. So what you're buying is basically the same car, just in a different shape. But one thing that the Model 3 does not have, the Model Y does have, is bioweapon defense mode. That would be right here in the Model Y. But the Model 3 is too small for a HEPA air filter, so they can't really have that feature in there. So I'll go show you the Model Y, what that looks like. All right, now we're in the Model Y, and it's pretty much the same. So, you know, like I said, same trim, same everything, but then there's a difference. If you go right here and tap the temperature, you can see there's bioweapon defense mode. And this is really good for if you have bad air quality. I mean, people have used it for tons of things. There was this fire in Superior almost 2 years ago now, and I was using it. It worked really well. And I just like, this is like something you don't really need every day, but it's always cool to have. Like, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, you know? All right, so now we have more differences. The door panels, the Model 3 door panels, they're definitely cheaper built. And if you look inside, it's all plastic inside, very cheaply made. I mean, that's what makes the Model 3 so cheap, is they use a lot cheaper stuff. And in the Model Y, it is a lot different. You have carpet-lined door panels on the inside door pockets. It's actually, I really like it. It looks really cool. It's on all the door panels too. Something I wish the Model 3 had, honestly. The next smaller difference is the side mirrors. If you look right here, these mirrors are actually about the same length, but they're definitely taller. And in the Model 3, they're a little bit shorter. They're about the same width, like I said. I mean, it doesn't make that much of a difference because the Model 3 is a sedan, so it doesn't need to be that much. But the Model Y definitely does benefit from the taller mirrors. And then on the performance models only, they have the spoilers. The Model Y spoiler is actually a little bit longer than the Model 3 spoiler, and you can kind of tell because it tapers more thinly towards the edges. And then the Model 3, it's a little bit smaller spoiler because the car is smaller. It doesn't taper as much. Another similarity we have is with the front seats. So if you look right here, just kind of pay attention to these seats. These are the exact same seats that are in the Model Y, and they do this because obviously it reduces cost a little bit, and it just makes it easier for them to make the cars. So as you can see, same seat. I mean, they kind of have these little seatbelt extenders for the Model Y because it's a little bit taller, but the seats are the exact same. The rear seats, however, are different. If you look right here, you can see it has more of a square area right here. It's like a rectangle square kind of shape. And then the Model 3, it's pretty much the same as the front seats with the 3 different sections. So I think the Model Y seats are probably easier to keep clean just because there's not as much, like there's not as many stitchings right here that I have to deal with. So I like the Model Y seats more. And again, another similarity is that the Model 3 and Y have a lot of the same speakers. They might not be in the same spots, but you can see there's a speaker right here. There's one right here inside, one on the pillar, and then in the back there's some on the door panels. But then in the Model Y, because there's no shelf, they're actually right here on the trunk, right here and right here. But then in the Model 3, because of the shelf, they're actually right back here. If you look on the shelf right here, you can see they're at the very back. There's nothing in the trunk, only the subwoofer. In addition to the super tiny seats back here, there's also a super tiny armrest with 2 cup holders, and the Model Y is actually a little bit wider. I'll show you that right now. It's also a lot harder to get out of. In the Model Y, you can see, along with the massive amount of leg room, we have this armrest with cup holders. And honestly, it's a lot nicer because if you have the Model 3 one, it's like kind of on the edge of the cup holder, but here you have a lot of space to put your arm. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, because I probably did, or if there's any questions you have about the Model 3 or Model Y. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.